bit of an update. Went to Home Depot again, got some few things, some longer screws to be able to go through multiple pieces of 2x4. And then I picked up some, it's the wrong bag, some cabinetry stuff like stoppers, magnetic stoppers for whatever side I decide to put the door on. I'm still not sure about that. And I also got a couple of these like slow stoppers, dampeners for the control panel, which is going to fold down that way. I don't want anybody to be able to ever slam it and kind of jar anything, so that's the plan for that. Trying to decide whether I want to kind of go after paneling or, you know, at least measure some of that stuff out and figure out how I want to do it, or if I want to put these sides on. So yeah, might get my buddy Tom's opinion on that. Bit of an update for the cabinet. I had a wedding to go to this weekend, so it was a lot of driving. Didn't get to do very much for this at all, but I did come in on Sunday before Game of Thrones and start kind of doing some of this framing. This is, you might be able to tell, is for the strips that go along this portion to make a box. There'll be similar stuff running kind of along a lot of portions of these that will end up being framed with you know, kind of a whole piece of wood on these pieces and the kind of main thing that's in the game room right now. So did that. They should match up pretty well. My worry is that even though these are identical and the sides on the main kind of like cart part are identical, that if I were to put these on individually, there could be some very small variances this way and that, and then these wouldn't line up in the end, and I'd have to do some really weird cuts to do that. So the idea would be to build this out first and then put this whole thing on both sides on at the same time, and then if there are any variances, it'll be on a side to side basis, and hopefully you wouldn't notice as much as if this isn't straight up top. So we're gonna try that way. Again, don't really know what I'm doing, but yeah. So a little bit of an update. It looks more complete than it does. So I went ahead and, like I mentioned, did these top portions first and tried to get them nice and square and good up top. And then I will kind of make adjustments because there is, you know, you can get like a little bit of a shear going in there. But I was afraid if I did it up there first it wouldn't be enough flexibility up here because just physics and stuff like that in order to get these into place. So I think it was a good move doing this top portion first and then connecting these at the bottom last. Certain things aren't going to match up all that well like that, but I can always just sand that down, and they're not all that straight in the first place, and it's going to be hidden by the control panel, so hopefully it won't make too big of a deal, but definitely think that worked out well. So next up is I had already drawn this like a line to show where this was going to go when I placed them earlier, and going to get it into place on one side. Got it clamped, get it clamped down, and then attach this side. And then hopefully flip the whole thing up without busting it and doing it on the opposite side. So yeah. So that was a fairly productive day. As you can see behind me, got quite a bit done. Should have showed you guys before the top where the marquee will go. Probably gonna do it with LEDs and some kind of a clear printout. I'm not sure exactly how that works. If you can just like print out paper and put it on the back of a piece of acrylic or something like that. We got the sides attached, and my countersunk holes everywhere so that we can fill it with some kind of like putty or Bondo material, and then when we paint it, you won't know that there are screws there. Is the goal. This all joined up fairly well. One thing I'm pretty worried about is this design, the kind of slope back design, getting enough weight in the base to make sure that it won't be tilting back at all. If I were to do this again, I'd go with a slightly less of a slope, and then do something with the design to get some more weight up here. When I add the front paneling and even the paneling in the back, it'll kind of weigh the base down. I'm imagining quite a bit, but I'm still gonna have to do something with paneling in the back and the weight of the TV and the structure of the TV. The panel will help it quite a bit, but still, when we're moving it without the panel, because we're gonna have to take the whole control panel off, it's gonna be top heavy. So any paneling I'm gonna do up here, I'm gonna do with something much thinner than this 3¼ inch, just so it won't add too much weight. Yeah, I gotta panel everything up. Gotta get this control panel rebuilt, because the way I did it before was pretty butts, and just learning from mistakes. Gonna be doing it less high, not as high rather. It's gonna come up even with that. As you can see, I'm probably gonna have to cut that line just so that this will sit as flush as possible with that. So I made a mark there, and it's gonna have to do that to this base and to the top, which has the control panels and stuff like that on it. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with what I've gotten done, considering I didn't really know what the hell I'm doing, or don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, that's it for this update. I will see you guys in the next one.
Everything is sound, and it is sound that turns matter and energy into form. Patterns on